Kaido. This is a man who we know next to nothing about, the final villain of the Yonko saga, who ends up barely being in the first 2 acts of his own story. Who is he? What is he about? Why does he want to start a world war? Why does he want chaos? Why does he want to die? Who in their right minds enters into a battle wanting to be defeated? Crocodile wanted utopia. Blackbeard chases dreams. Akainu wants absolute justice. All these are things we understand, things we ourselves might want. And even if we don't, we can understand how someone can want them. But there's never been a villain like Kaido in One Piece. A villain who wants chaos and war. The end. Ragnarok. For what purpose? To what end? We can look everywhere, high and low, and we will not find an answer. That is, until we realize we already have the answer. It is in the very series we are reading. It is romance. Romanticism is what lies at the core of Kaido's being. Romanticism was an intellectual movement that took place between the late 1700s and the early 1800s in Europe. It is to Romanticism that we owe our modern ideas of what creativity is, the modern notion that art should be the expression of the self, and our modern idea of what genius is. As Isaiah Berlin shows us, despite being the most influential movement in modern history, Romanticism is notoriously difficult to define. Romanticism is the primitive, the untutored. It is youth, the exuberant sense of life of the natural man. But it is also, and I apologize in advance for my pronunciation, mal du siècle, which I had to look this up, is ennui, disillusionment, and melancholy. Romanticism is death itself. Romanticism is the ancient, the historic, the mists of antiquity. It is also the pursuit of novelty and revolutionary change, the desire to live in the moment, joy in the passing instant. It is nostalgia, it is reverie, it is solitude, roaming in remote places and in remote times. It is also happy cooperation in common creative effort. On the one hand, he just described One Piece. No surprise, One Piece is a romance. On the other hand, he described Kaido, mal du siècle, death. Kaido is a romantic figure. That is beyond doubt. Like the romantic archetype of the sensitive poet, the genius, the visionary, he is tortured, world-weary, and most importantly, if he cannot die fulfilling his dreams, he will die to save himself from the ravages of time. Kaido will not watch himself grow old and weak and sick, losing the boldness and adventure of life to the dreariness of this world. He seeks to wage war for the sake of war, because for the romantic, the great object of life is sensation, to feel that they are alive, to drive away the ennui that saturates ordinary life. Kaido, like many romantics, is a sentimentalist. And a sentimentalist, as Oscar Wilde puts it, is one who desires to have the luxury of an emotion without paying for it. I've never seen a better description of Kaido. He will honor Odin while enslaving his people and tearing apart his family. But Kaido is not just any romantic figure. His character alludes to the greatest romantic figure of all, the original villain to be cast in a sympathetic light, Satan himself. That Kaido is an allusion to Satan is undeniable. He falls from the sky. His smile fruits allude to the forbidden fruit the serpent tempted Adam and Eve with. He invades Wano, which is a paradise. Satan himself is represented as a dragon in the Bible. Satan is read into the Old Testament as the Leviathan, that dragon-like monster of the sea, representing chaos and destruction. Kaido is a Leviathan of the sky, bringing chaos with storm clouds. For the Romantics, Satan was a hero. Satan was traditionally depicted as hideous and monstrous, but the Romantics saw beauty in Satan's fallenness. For them, the broken, the imperfect, the incomplete was somehow more profound, more truly beautiful than shining, radiant, perfect beauty. Defeat and loss was somehow more noble and beautiful than victory. In Kaido's defeat, Wano shows us this bittersweet beauty, the beauty of accepting that your companion's dreams will come at the cost of your dream, at the cost of your defeat, the beauty of bearing this for him. But in this beauty there lies what is truly sinister about Kaido. Because when Kaido realized that he was wrong, he could have turned back. Turning back would have been true submission, true acceptance, true beauty. The beauty of Mako, the beauty of Hyogoro, the beauty of Yamato, the beauty of stepping off the stage. The final act of Wano is all about people who have refused to get off the stage. One Piece is all about getting off the stage. We see this everywhere in the story, from Nami to Usopp, to Law, to Sanji. Kaido has not stepped off the stage. There is no beauty in his death because there is no sacrifice in it, no submission, no acceptance. All these are things he is merely gesturing at, things he does not actually do. To make a sacrifice is to give, not to be taken from. It is to give up the stage, not to be dragged off. Chapter 1143 is a brilliant, gorgeous, delightful chapter for many reasons, but chiefly for this one line. Well, it's a dream food, so zero energy too. The romantic is a dreamer, and his most seductive dream is his dream of himself. The romantic can easily fall in love with the way he perceives himself, the way he imagines himself to be. But what does Kaido imagine himself to be? We've already seen that to sacrifice is to give up something valuable of your own free will. It is not to have it forcefully taken from you. If something precious is forcefully taken from you, then you have not sacrificed. You have been robbed. It is injustice. You are a victim. And what better thing to imagine yourself as than as a victim? A victim not by chance, like those other people, but a true victim, a victim by nature, a perpetual victim. After all, it is a sign of a greater, purer spirit to be someone who suffers, to be an outcast, shunned, misunderstood, lonely. The more you suffer, the greater you are. This is the true beauty of defeat. It is to be a foreigner in this world, an exile, a higher being in a lower world, and a lesser time.